Good morning and aloha. Thank you very much for joining in our Jodo Buddhist service. Today is April 3rd and tomorrow we will have a Buddha Day service by Zoom. So if you haven't registered yet, please register or just let me know. I will share a link for the Zoom Buddha Day service. And also, as you know, tomorrow will be Easter Day. So some people, we are different religions, so we don't celebrate, the celebration of different religion. But I think we just simply think, 1 plus 1 equal 2. What it means is that 2 is bigger than 1. Right? So in my thinking, instead of celebrating one event, it's always better to celebrate more, 2 celebrations. So if, Buddhism celebrate Buddha Day and Easter, Christianity celebrate Easter on the same day, we should celebrate both. Why not? Yeah. So it's kind of narrow to just celebrate only one. But if you know it, why don't you celebrate 2? 1 plus 1 equals 2, and 2 is bigger than 1. Yeah? So that's my thought. And yesterday, it was Good Friday. And Good Friday is a state holiday, not federal holiday. So depends on the state, no holiday. And then Hawaii is one of the states that is holiday. So that's called state holiday. And Good Friday. So that's kind of confusing, And then the school, all the state schools is holiday was yesterday. And then some states maybe not. But so in my thought, tomorrow is, Good Friday is holiday. So I thought, the post office was closed, but it was not because it is not federal holiday, so only the state holiday, so the bank open. I'm not sure. Was bank open? Yeah, I think so. No, I don't think so. No. So the only post office was closed. So anyway, yesterday I happened to receive a phone call from Japanese lady, and she was talking to me in Japan. And then it was very unusual because I'm here in Hawaii, and I seldom receive a stranger from a Japanese lady. And then she said, "Oh, are you okay? In the coronavirus pandemic." And then, "Is it okay? Am I calling the wrong place?" Or in Japanese, she was worrying about. And then she said that I believe in Jehovah's Witness, and then I'd like to share Jehovah's Witness website, in this time of difficulties. And actually, the business phone call, every day, so many times I receive phone call. And then some phone call like a business or fishing, I don't know, but please don't hang up, And then they actually try to sell the, Google listing or insurance, and another phone call, always I receive is that don't hang up, your insurance is outdated, expired already, and they encourage me to have another insurance. So that is a phone call. And then when they try to sell something, I sometimes pretend, "Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot speak English." And they actually understand. But this time, Japanese, so I cannot I cannot speak Japanese. No. So I actually listen. And also, I didn't, because I'm here, I have a mission to spread the teaching of Honen Shonin. So in a sense, she belong to Jehovah's Witness, she also tried to spread the teaching of Jehovah's Witness, right? So in a sense, although different direction, but we actually kind of same. And then I realized that, oh, I should, listen to her, what I want to listen to her, and I want to, thank her that she tried to save me and with her belonging. So why, she wants to call strangers is because I think I realized that because she believed the teaching is supreme, right? And so that's why, because it was good to her, it's good for her. That's why she want to recommend the teaching to many people, even though she never met me. So that's why. So I wanted to respect the passion, her passion, enthusiasm to spread the teaching. And so, in a sense, oh, I'm same. And then I listened to her. So that she actually told me the jw.org is a Jehovah's Witness website that she wanted. And also, because over here, many people live alone, and then especially older people over here. So, wow, by calling randomly and many people, she eventually meet that people, there must be people who want to talk, who want to listen, because she was offering peace and the teaching, in this very difficult time. In this very difficult time, she wanted to offer help to the people. And then there must be, not many, but people. I know some people live alone, even though, over 90. It's true, fact. And so and then coronavirus, they cannot go out freely. So if that is the case, there must be needs, that they want to talk. So by calling randomly, she eventually meets the people who want, and especially Japanese. And then at the last minute, my question, how did you know I'm Japanese? How did you know Japanese? And then when I told my wife, oh, that's easy, your English is no good. That's why everybody knows you Japanese, you from Japan. You Japanese, your English is no good. So that's, but I'm very curious. How did she get my phone number? And so, because she intended, she was from beginning, speaking in Japanese. So she knew from the beginning, I am Japanese. And how did she know? That was I wanted to question. Yeah. And then she told me that she looked, telephone book, internet telephone book, and that looked like Japanese, that she called. Wow, yeah. So Ishikawa is actually one of the major Japanese last names. So through the internet phone books that she tried to check, and then call Japanese target. So that was the way. So I was kind of, worried of the privacy was leaked. Like, we have some Japanese community, and we once have a telephone listing. Those who live, the Japanese, they live on Kauai. That was so, should not be shared, right? And then I know because I belong to the committee, so there were so many people, but not many. Kauai, at that time, I was about 300 Japanese who came from Japan, live on Kauai. And so I knew the list, and I was afraid, the list was maybe leaked, or somebody, released. And then that was not. So I was glad she actually tried effort. So even, without using internet, we can do such missionary work. And that was actually impressed. And also, the different religion and the new religion maybe, and we have sometimes prejudice, but actually what she wanted to do, I wanted to do is same. And there is not one way. There is always more ways to provide service to those who may need it. So that was actually my thought yesterday. And tomorrow we have a Buddha Day, and also I have a deadline to report my bishop's report to the Jodo headquarters. And that's actually a lot. And as I look back, my past year, wow, I did so many things. And of course, this internet missionary service many times, and then meetings many times, and then lectures many times, and attended. Wow, what a year! I never expected I was such a busy because of the pandemic, but this online situation easily made me more more. Because just think about, HBC, Hawaii Buddhist Council, Buddha Day service, before, this pandemic, because I'm living on Kauai, I live on Kauai, and the service that happens going to be held on a different island, Oahu. So, because I live far, there was no choice that I could join in the planning committee meeting, right? No choice. Only meeting was held, And then, even though when they have a meeting, I need to fly to Oahu to join in the meeting. But online meeting, it's possible, anytime possible. And also, especially for the, video editing, and then this is my, what I want to do. I like. So I like, do my job. So if it's possible and I like, so that made me work always, keep working. So, I made a video that may be edited many times. And one of the most time I spent was like Zoom chanting. So Zoom chanting, if you experience, chanting Namu Amida together by Zoom, it's impossible. Cannot chant together. And then some people fast, some people slow, and then it's very uncomfortable to hear, right? So this, Zoom chanting tomorrow, I edited, and then 6 bishops chanting one passage, one verse, and then I adjusted, the faster one to make it slow, and then slower one make it fast, and then if too loud, make it slow, and so 6 different voices I put together. So that was, I actually spent, and then I thought, wow, that was more than I should do, that because pandemic situation made me possible to do this job. But of course, I do because I like it. So it's my very honor and pleasure to offer whatever I can do. So that was actually I enjoyed. But as for bishop's report that I need to submit by tomorrow, it's kind of pressure, lots of pressure. And then, but the good thing is that I stayed up late, and then I did maybe 80%, almost. So I have one day, a whole day to make it, to submit. So anyway, today's Words of Honen Shonin is teachings commensurate with potential. So this is day 3. Honen Shonin asked Shinjakubo in the province of Harima, suppose there are 2 imperial edicts here. Should an imperial edict intended for the western provinces be delivered to the east in error? One intended for the eastern provinces be delivered to the west. Would the people comply with the command intended for another? Shinjakubo pondered the question for a while and replied, Imperial edict notwithstanding, it would be impossible to comply with orders meant for another. Honen Shonin then stated, You are a reasonable man. The imperial command is none other than the teachings of Buddha Shakyamuni. The 2 documents refer to the teachings of the 3 defilements, 3 periods. That is the period of true Dharma, the period of the imitative Dharma, and the period of the decline of the Dharma. The religious practice of the Holy Gate espouses the teachings of the periods of both the true Dharma and of the imitative Dharma to be practiced only by the profoundly wise with great potential. It may be linked to the edict intended for the western provinces. The practice of the Pure Land Gate is designed for the defiled period of the decline of the Dharma for common people with little potential and wisdom. It may be linked to edict intended for the eastern provinces. Consequently, it follows that there can be no error in dispatch of the edict appropriate to the teachings of 3 periods. At the discussion on the Holy Gate and the Pure Land Gate in Ohara, neither school was lesser in the essence of its teachings. However, Genku emerged victorious in terms of capability of the practitioners. The teachings of the Holy Gate are indeed profound, yet they do not suit the potential of the people of today. Conversely, the Pure Land Gate may seem overly simplistic, but it is appropriate for the potential of this generation. Referral to the following passage convinced everyone of the validity of the instruction of Honen Shonin. Although Buddhist teachings, other than reciting Denbutsu, will perish after the period of decline of the Dharma that lasts for 10,000 years, only the teaching of Buddha Amitabha will prevail and save people. So this one word, simply, there is a right teaching for the right period, right time. Because nothing is permanent, everything is changing. So only the truth can prevail, in the future. But other teaching may not, even it may be universal, good for the day, but depending on the time and depending on the people, it may not be suitable. So, at the time of Hoden Shonin, Nembutsu was the right practice, right teaching. That's why Nembutsu was able to spread. So now, it is a challenge that how we keep this tradition of Nembutsu. Do we need adjustment? Do we still just follow the Hoden Shonin? That is our challenge we are facing. So, what I do is actually, I believe, sometimes, instead of seeking the answer, ultimate answer, you just put aside the answer, just continue what we learn. And by doing that, we will find the answer. Sorry, today battery is very weak and then it may be cut without notice. Sorry, if so. Not mind, not mind. I aspire for my body to be as pure as an incense burner. I aspire for my mind to be like the light of wisdom. With every thought, I burn this incense of discipline and meditation, to dedicate myself to the past, present, and future Buddhas of the 10 directions. 一心教来 I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Buddhas who eternally dwell in the lands of the 10 directions. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Dharma, the teachings which eternally exist in the lands of the 10 directions. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Sangha, the community which eternally exists in the lands of the 10 directions. We reverently call upon Amida Buddha, the world-honored one, to enter this sacred place. We reverently call upon Shakyamuni Tathagata, the enlightened one, to enter this sacred place. We reverently call upon the Tathagatas of the 10 directions to enter this sacred place. Ga shaku shozo showaku go Ayu bushi tonjinchi jushin go ishi shosho isai ga konkai sange. The harmful actions I have done in the past are all derived from my inherent greed, anger, and delusion, born of my conduct, words, and thoughts. I now repent them all. Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida, Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida, Namu Amida Bu, Namu